Hi, and welcome back to Movies Explained, where we recap your favorite movies for you. Today, we will be recapping a teenage drama movie called Broken Mirrors. So without further ado, let's begin. The story starts with a 17-year-old girl, Ariella, who can be seen enjoying her ride with her friends as the fresh air brushes across her face. Soon they arrived at a party. This was her first time at a party, so everything is new and appealing to her. The party atmosphere was quite energetic, with everyone dancing to loud music. When Ariella met some of her friends there, they insisted on introducing her to some boys. At first she refused, but she eventually had to give in. Meanwhile, a young boy approached her after noticing her staring at him, but Ariella was too arrogant to accept it and denied it, saying it was just an optical illusion. He smiled at her and told her that he was on the other side of the party and that she could join him whenever she wanted. After he left, Ariella's friends forced her to drink, but she soon realized that it was too late for her to stay. She told her friends to leave, but they wanted to stay and forced her to stay. She stormed out of there alone, but first she took off all her makeup to be safe. Once she left the party, she tried to look for a lift. Meanwhile, back home, her parents are really worried for their daughter. Giora, Ariella's father, tried to call her multiple times, but all in vain. When she came back, Giora was waiting for her at the door. Her parents questioned her about being late, and Giora was furious and asked if she had anything that she wanted to tell them, but Ariella replied that she didn't have much to say. This heated up the conversation even further when Nava, Ariella's mother, tried to interrupt, but Giora ordered her to remain out of it. Ariella was shocked to her core when Giora asked her daughter to remove her pants so that he could see what she had done. She obeyed her father silently. While Nava went outside to check the box outside their house, she discovered Ariella's removed pants. Nava was shocked to see them, after which Nava searched her bag, but they did not find any drugs or unusual stuff. Even then, Giora was determined to punish her and began looking for scissors, despite Nava's efforts to stop him. Giora ripped off her pants and told her she had to know how she felt standing half naked in the middle of the night. He also tore her shirt apart and took her to the street, where he ordered her to stand until 6 a.m. Instead of protesting, Ariella stayed quiet and thanked her father for the punishment. Nava was angry with her husband and told him that he should also know his limits. While standing alone in the street, Ariella picked up a white marble stone and started sketching on the street. Before we move further, let's have the question of the day. How would you treat your daughter if she did the same mistake as Ariella? Please let us know in the comments section. Now back to the video. The next morning, there were many beautiful buildings on the street, which even amazed Giora, after which he went to Ariella's room and surprisingly wished her good morning. But he was still annoyed as Ariella had left the street a minute earlier, so he asked her to arrange her bedding in a minute. But Ariella failed, as she thought it was impossible to do it in such a short period of time. At this point, her father told her that there was nothing impossible in this world. She just needed some practice. Soon he left, as he got a call from the police station. All those events left Ariella annoyed with her father. Nava took Ariella and Roit, her sister, to the springs to make amends for the previous night. During their journey, Nava told her that she always wanted to name her Maya, but Ariella was still behaving arrogantly. While on their journey back, Nava decided to teach Ariella to drive. At one point the road was blocked by rocks, so Nava got out of the car to guide Ariella. While Nava was guiding her, by mistake Ariella pressed the gas pedal, due to which Nava fell and her head struck a rock. She fell unconscious, and they took her to the hospital. Giora joined them at the hospital. While he was talking to the staff, a doctor told Ariella that her mother was in a coma and they were trying their best to treat her, but her wounds were deep. Due to this, there is very little chance that she will recover. After which, she went to see her mother and looked deeply affected by her condition. When they came back home, their grandmother tried her best to calm them and serve them food, but Ariella refused to eat. Giora was also disturbed as his nightmares always chase him. The next morning, Ariella and her father have another heated argument in which he accuses her of convincing Nava to let her drive. She believed him and asked her father to punish her, but Giora dismissed her. After Giora left for the hospital, Ariella decided to punish herself. She ripped her pants off and stood on a highway. Soon a car with male passengers stopped near her. Those guys offered her a lift and she got into the car, after which she removed her shirt in front of them. As one of them tried to touch her body, she threw up, after which they threw her out of the car and left her in a lonely place. She stands tall after getting her shirt back. After when she got a call from Roy, who asked her about her location, Ariella responded that she would not come back until their mother got out of the coma. Ariella also forbids her from telling their father about her, after which she started walking towards private property, where she stepped into an animal trap and couldn't get out. Soon, a vehicle stopped near her. A boy by the name of Ben came out and offered his help. At first, Ariella refused to take any help from him, but soon she realizes that she cannot get out of it on her own. So, she allowed him to help her. As he drove away, Ariella threw a stone at the vehicle. At this point, they stopped and allowed her to get in the vehicle. They drove her to their farm, where Ben attempted to glue her shoe back on. She asked Ben to allow her to stay here, but Ben refused, as it was their working place, not a hotel. She responded that she would work for them in return. Desperate to stay, Ariella tried to burn her palm, claiming that if she could bear it, Ben would let her stay. Finally, Ben gave up and agreed to help her, showing her around. It was a farm of beautiful flowers, and on their round, Ben taught her a few things about the flowers. After that, Ben left for some work, and Ariella got a chance to meet his friend in a storage room. Ariella went inside the room and asked him to touch her body. At first, he was tempted, but then he yelled at her and refused to touch her. He warned her not to do it again because Ben was a special friend. Ariella was disappointed and burst into tears, then locked herself in that cold storage room. On the other side, Giora was in the hospital with his wife. He seemed very concerned for Ariella, but he refused to do anything, saying that she would be back when she realized that she was making a mistake. They also inquired about Roy's contact with her sister, but she immediately denied it. Ariella, who introduces herself as Maya, was still locked in the storage room when Ben came back to the farm. He tried to call her, but she did not respond. However, she allowed him to come inside the room. Ben told her he would not leave her until both of them died from the cold, after which Maya agreed to leave the room. Ben took her to his house and cared for her well. He played some tapes for her. They both had a good time. However, Ariella got emotional when Ben told her about his father and how a commander was responsible for his father's death. Meanwhile, Giora got up from deep sleep and left a message for Ariella to get back home before midnight. He was furious with himself because he was the one responsible for his daughter's escape. After Ben went to sleep, Ariella looked around. She found out that Ben's father died when an operation by a special unit went wrong, after which she left that place immediately. She went to the highway again and sat beside a huge rock. Back at the hospital, Giora got to know that Roy called Ariella. She told her father that she lied, and that's why she also deserved a punishment. This left Giora ashamed. However, Roy told him their whole conversation. Giora immediately left to find his daughter, while Ariella got a lift from another man. She told him that he could take her wherever he wanted to go. That man took her to a deserted place. Giora tried hard to find any clue about her daughter, but all in vain. Ariella told that man to go to the back of the car. While he went to the back, Ariella called her dad and puts the phone in her pocket so that her father could listen to what was happening to her. She wanted him to realize that she was having her punishment. Giora attended the call and could listen to what was happening to her daughter. That man asked her to lie down so they could have some fun, but Ariella was confused and scared as she never has done anything before. While he tries to call for his daughter again and again, Giora was seemingly disturbed after listening to all this on his phone. He again and again calls for his daughter, but just before anything bad can happen to her, he immediately reaches to the spot. That man leaves the place in a hurry along with his car. Ariella falls to the ground and burst into tears. She tells her father how she run the vehicle over her mother, so she says she should be punished, but her father tells her that she cannot get away from things like this. He also has done the same with his life, but it's not the solution. She needs to face them rather than running in search of punishment. He also asks her for forgiveness. Both of them then hug each other. Then they get back to the hospital where Ariella is taking care of her mother. Giora also gets the courage to face his truth. While walking through the lobby of a hospital, Ariella rethinks how she knows a lot about life now, and the movie ends here. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, then please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Your support means a lot to us. We will see you in the next one.